Hi guys, a wonderful afternoon to all of you. Once again, welcome to another session from BYJU'S Exam Prep. So friends, this is a continuation of the reasoning topic of your CUET. In the last session, that is the part 1, we have seen what are the most important questions that come in CUET as far as reasoning is concerned. I have discussed what are the types of reasoning. We have seen verbal reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, all the types of questions. At least we have seen the bifurcation, how many questions are expected and so on and so forth. So today it's a continuation of the same topic. As I said in the last class, one session will not be enough for me to cover everything that is there. So I have a bunch of questions coming your way today. So like in the last class, we are going to start with questions and I'll give you time to solve, and thereafter I will give you the solution. So it's simply a practice session, questions and then answers. Right? So before we move on, once again a reminder, please click on the like button if you have enjoyed my videos. Click on the subscription button. Please be a part of our channel. We have a lot of such sessions planned up, not just for reasoning. I am going to take these sessions for quant, for GK and for other topics in your CUET also. So if you want to be aware of all the sessions that are happening, click on the notification button so that you get the notifications. Right, so this is the second part. As I mentioned, we already saw this in the this table in the first part, that is in the first CUET reasoning part. We have seen that there are two types of logic or logical questions that can be asked. One is verbal form of logic, the other is non-verbal form of logic. Verbal form of logic, we have seen questions. We have also seen about 6 or 7 questions last time from the normal verbal form of logic. So we're going to continue the discussion today with respect to the logical part. Okay, so let's take a look at the first question here. Once again, it's a question based on analogies. Right, so you should be able to answer this in about 30 seconds flat. So 30 seconds, type in your answers and just read the instructions carefully. Good afternoon, Movies, Malik. Movies, this is the second class on reasoning. The first class would have been uploaded on this channel already. All right, so Sneha says option C, Malik says option D, kill. Is there anybody else who's going for option A or B? Right, so let's take a look at what is happening here. Bread is to bakery. Now, what is the relation between bread and bakery? Bread is sold or rather made in a bakery, right? A bakery makes bread. So bricks is to what? So this should be the place where bricks are made. Now, what is the place where bricks are made? That's the question you need to answer. And for this, you need to know some idea about English language. Otherwise, you can't answer this. So, yes, Movies, that's good. You have watched it live. Furnace. Furnace का मतलब क्या है? Furnace is a place which is used to melt metals. Furnace is a place where you use high temperatures to create metallic objects, sometimes glass objects also. It is not the place where you make bricks. So furnace is not your answer. Mine तो सबको पता है, underground mine या overcast mine है, where you dig minerals out of it. Right? So that's basically mine, clearly not a place for making bricks. What is a mint? Anyone? Anyone? What is a mint? Mint, if you don't know, is a place where coins are made. 1 rupee coins, 5 rupee coins, the place where coins are made is called as mint. It's not just coins, the place where your currency, any note, 500 rupee note, 1000 rupee note, 2000 rupee note, any of these notes where they get printed is called as a mint. Okay, so this is obviously not your answer. So the correct answer has to be kiln. So the word used for the place where the bricks are made is called as a kiln. So again, if you ask me about this question, this is a mixture of logic and English, and it is more about English than logic, truly speaking. Because यहाँ पे word के अलावा, if you don't know the meaning of the word, you can't get the answer. whereas the relation of the logic is very very simple. Logic ज़्यादा है नहीं यहाँ पे, बहुत छोटा सा logic है. So it is more of an English based question than of a logic, but it will come under the logical section, not as a part of your English. Okay, so that's what we have. The next question, once again similar idea. Read the instruction carefully. 30 seconds में आपको आंसर आना चाहिए. Let's see how many of you can get the answer. Alright, Sneha and Malik, both of you have given the answer as D, which is the correct answer. So what is happening here? Sound is to muffled. Muffled का मतलब है the sound is covered. Okay, your sound आ रहा है, लेकिन somehow when it comes to you, it is reduced drastically. Okay, so the effect of the sound is reduced. Muffled का मतलब है it is the intensity is decreased. That's the meaning of muffled. Okay, so color is bright or whatever color it is. When the intensity becomes less for a color, you use the word faded. Faded means उसका color निकल गया है, थोड़ा सा ही बचा है, which is very similar to sound and muffled. You can clearly say humid cannot be an answer itself because humid is nowhere related to color. Similarly, pungent is a smell, whereas color is a sense of ice. Right, so they are not the same, so they cannot be, relating them. Bright could be a possibility, but actually bright here, what is happening? Sound, it is reducing, the intensity is reducing, whereas bright is the intensity is increasing. So actually it is a reverse effect. So this is not the answer. Hence the option D has to be the correct answer. Okay, so Sneha, Malik and Abhishek Kaushal, good. All of you have given the correct answers. Let's move ahead. This is a series based question, so this is a pure logic. इसमें English नहीं है, it's a pure logic question. Try to do this in about 45 seconds. Let's see how many of you can get the answer. Guys, one small request, put the question number and the option. वरना मुश्किल हो जाएगा for me to track which answers are you referring to. So please put question number and then your option. Okay, Sneha, Mausam and Malik have given the answer option as A. This is a very, very straightforward question. So if you take a look at what is happening here, Q, R, R, S, S, T. So you can see the first letter is continuous. The second letter is always A. And the third letter R, S, T and then U. So you can clearly see that the first series of letters are continuous. The second letter is constant and the third letter is also continuous, which means after T I should get U. Then I should have A, which is constant. And after U, I should have V. So UAV should be my answer, which is option number 1 or option A. That's your answer. Okay, it's a very simple question. Most of you got it right. Very good. Let's move on to the next question. This is again not very difficult. Take a look at it. Try to give an answer in about 45 seconds. Once again, let's see how many of you can get it right. Very good, Sneha, Mausam, Malik. Correct answer is option C. So if you notice here, S, T, U, so the next one should be V. Then the moment you get this, you can see only one option is starting with V. However, in such questions, I would always say, wo 10 seconds extra spend karo and make sure that is your answer. Which means make sure that the other alphabets are also in place. So C, then your D is missing, then E. F is missing, then G. H should miss, I should get I. Then the third letter, D. E is missing, then your F. G is missing, then H. I should be missing, then I should be getting my J. So VIJ should be my answer, which is my option C. Guys, remember, these questions are easy. But also notice that अगर आपको इतने time में 15-20 सेकंड में ये चमक नहीं रहा है, if you are not able to crack the code within 15-20 seconds, I would recommend leave the question, come back to it later. Guys, in this section you will be having 15 questions. आपको 15 में से 12 ही करना है. So don't sit with a question for minutes together. Look at the time that you're taking. Look at the time that you're taking in this kind of questions. 15-20 सेकंड में आपका आंसर आ रहा है. Worst case 30 seconds. अगर एग्जाम में आपको 30 seconds में आंसर नहीं आया, then the chances are that it's a difficult question. So you can leave it, look at another question. You can easily leave 3 questions out of 15. So keep that in your mind. ऐसे लेके मत बैठो कि सर मैंने पूरा प्रैक्टिस में इजी क्वेश्चंस किया था लेकिन एग्जाम में डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन आ गया तो उस पर बैठ गया मैं. यार, if it is difficult, it is difficult. You are supposed to leave it. That's the whole idea, right? So this is a competitive exam. Please keep that in mind. It is not your board exam. Board exam you are supposed to answer everything, but here you have to be smart. Pick the easiest set of questions because all questions carry the same marks. You will not get extra marks for answering a difficult question. So keep that in mind. Your strategy should be to minimize time per question and as much as possible finish them. Okay? Alright, let's go ahead. That's very good, Malik. Question number 5. Now this is an odd man out. Read the instructions carefully. 30 seconds you should be able to give me the answer. It's a very, very simple question. Very good, Neeti, Sneha, Mausam, Malik. The correct answer is option C. Why is it option C? Because acute, obtuse and right angle. These are 3 angles or the names of triangles based on the angles. Acute angle, obtuse angle, right angle triangle, or they can also call them as angular measurements. Acute angle is less than 90, obtuse angle is greater than 90, right angle is exactly 90. It's related to angles. Whereas parallel is basically for lines. It is not related to angles per se. Hence, your option C is the correct answer. Okay, so ये सब छोटे-छोटे questions है. ऐसे questions को निकालना है आपको exam में. Keep searching for these kind of questions. काफी मिलेंगे आपको. Next one. Once again the same. 30 seconds you should be able to give me the answer. Okay, 30 seconds up. Malik, Khushi and Neeti Jain. Malik and Khushi have given the correct answer. Neeti Jain, judge is not correct. The correct answer is trial. Let's take a look at what is it and why is it correct. So firstly, you need to understand that defendant, prosecutor, trial and judge, all of them are related to court proceedings. Who is a defendant? Defendant is a person who's been accused of something and the person is trying to defend himself or herself. Okay, so the defendant is the person who is accused and I'm trying to defend myself. Prosecutor is the person who is accusing somebody. Okay, so if somebody says that I have stolen something, I am the defendant, I am supposed to defend saying that I did not steal. The person who's accusing me will be called as a prosecutor. He's going to prosecute me. Okay, a judge is the person, obviously is the person who's going to give the final verdict. Is the person guilty or not, and the quantum of sentence. If he's guilty, what should happen to him. Trial is the proceeding, the entire process of determining somebody is guilty or not. So in these, all four are terms related to judgment. However, these three, defendant, prosecutor and judge, are the terms which talk about people, person, right? Whereas trial is not the name of any particular person, it is the name of a process. Trial is a process where you talk about somebody being is he wrong or right? That's a process. It's not a person per se. The meaning of trial is not related to any particular person. Whereas defendant is a person, prosecutor is a person, judge is a person. So that is the reason why trial is the odd man out. Okay? That's your answer. So yes, as I said, this is easy, but sometimes it could be a little bit tricky. Okay, take a look at this. I'll give you 90 seconds. Thoda lamba hai, but it's easy. So I'll give you 90 seconds to solve this. Let's see how many of you can get the answer. Kushi, E should be immediately followed by C. Matlab C should come after E. So how can you say the answer is option C? ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता है. Because the first one cannot be C because C से पहले E आना चाहिए. So definitely C cannot be the answer. And straight away it is given D and E cannot be the first or the last. So C or D सीधा निकल गए. If you don't solve also, even if you don't solve the question, just by reading it, you can eliminate two options. Guys, that is what I'm trying to explain here. अगर आपको question solve करना नहीं भी आया, तो भी अगर आप ढंग से देखोगे, you will say that two options are not possible. बाकी दो ही बचे हैं. 50% chance of getting it right. और अगर आप तुक्का भी मार दिए, 50% chance of getting it right. So please don't say that you'll always sit and solve the question. Kabhi just by looking at the options and looking at the question correctly, you can eliminate two options and thereby you'll be left with only two. Okay, so that's one way of solving it. And look at this. B should be staged immediately after D. So B should come after D, which will tell you that B also cannot be first because B should come after D. Which means this is also gone. Without solving anything, you can say A is the answer. Without solving anything, you are just reading the question and you're saying what the answer is. Okay, so once again, how do you get the answer? D or E should not be the first or last. So D nahi ho sakta hai. E should be followed by C. E should be followed by C, which means C comes after E. So C cannot be the first. Similarly, B should be immediately after D, which means D should be followed by B or B should come after D. So this is also gone. Without doing anything, you can say the answer is A. That's all. But now, if you want to solve this correctly, let's see. See, this is the way in which you're supposed to do it in the exam. Options delete ho gaye, ek bach gaya, answer mil gaya. Now, nobody is going to give you extra marks. Nobody is going to give you extra marks for proving it to be A by solving the entire set. But yes, if you want to understand the process, now let's take a look at the the approach, process क्या होना चाहिए. But option से सीधा निकल गया आपका answer already. But let's take a look at it. So we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first one cannot be D or E. The last one cannot be D or E. This is the condition given. Then E should be immediately followed by C. So E or C should be together. Nobody is in between them. B should be staged immediately after D. So D or B should be like this. Nobody is in between them. One play is staged between A or B. So A or B के बीच में one play है. It can be one of these two possibilities. A gap B or B gap A. So now remember, this is B. So my A can be here. This is one possibility. Or the other possibility is D or B यहाँ पे है, gap आया और फिर A है. This is the other possibility. Okay, these are the two possibilities. But now look at it. If I take possibility number 2, there are totally 5 people. 5 plays. D, B or A. The remaining 2 are E and C. But E and C should be going together. तो space कहाँ है मेरा? A की space है यहाँ पे B और A के बीच में. So E अगर यहाँ पे आ गया, then C should be, there is no place for C anymore. Because C and E have to go together, which means this second possibility cannot be happening. It is only the first possibility which is correct. So this tells you that A, D and B are like this. Now you have E and C. E and C can be put like this, or you can put E and C like this. Now clearly this is not correct because the first one cannot be E. Therefore, the second one only has to be correct. So the order is A, D, B, E, C. That is the correct order. Clear? Right? So that's your answer. मौसम ये क्वेश्चन प्रीवियस सेशन में बताया था? I don't think so. I don't remember doing this in the last session. It would have been a slightly different session, a different question. Okay, let's move on anyway. Look at this. This is a coding decoding question. It's a very, very straightforward, simple question. Take about 45 seconds to get an answer to this. Okay, I've got 5 answers. All answers are correct. The correct answer is option B. Now let me make a couple of comments about this. This is one of the dumbest questions that I have come across. However, when I was trying to solve it, it took me some time to realize how dumb it was. Normally what happens is when you're talking about coding decoding, there will be some logic with which you try to look at, okay, R ka code kaise aa raha hai, O ka code kaise aa raha hai, what is the logic that they're using? And you try a lot to figure out the logic. इसमें बहुत सीधा सीधा है. They are basically saying randomly that they're saying R is 6. Straight away, there's no other logic. One-to-one mapping है. This is one of the most, I will not even say straightforward. ये तो, in fact, I did not realize that questions can come like this, and such a question has come in the past actually. Okay, usually क्या करते हैं? They'll apply some logic and they'll try to convert R into a number. But यहाँ पे the logic is not given. Straight away they are saying R is 6. Take R as 6. Similarly, they're saying O should be 8, S should be 2, and E should be 1. So they are doing a one-to-one mapping straight away. Similarly, they're saying C should be 7, H should be 3, A should be 4, I should be 5, R should be 6, and so on and so forth. So similarly, they have given this for preach also. So what is the code for search? So SEARCH में S कहाँ पे आया था? यहाँ पे. So S is 2. So S is 2. E कहाँ पे आया? Till now E is here. So E is 1. A, where has A come? A has come here, so A is 4. R, where has R come? ROSC rows, so R is 6. CH, where has C come? C has come in chair, so C is 7. And H is come in preach, so H is 3. So 2, 1, 4, 6, 7, 3, that is your option number B. बहुत ही स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड वन टू वन मैपिंग है, ज्यादा दिमाग लगाए नहीं इसमें. It's a very straightforward question, and when I was trying to solve this, I was trying all types of logic that I've come across. बहुत कुछ सोच लिया, फिर बाद में पता चला यार ये तो सीधा सीधा है. Sometimes it happens that when the answer is very straightforward, you don't think about it. You spend the time, thinking of all the possibilities. फिर finally पता चलेगा कि यार इतना नहीं है, बहुत सीधा है. It happens once in a while. It happened to me in this question. In fact, you guys came up with the answer much more faster. It took me almost a minute and a half for me to figure out कि यार ये सीधा सीधा answer है. Okay, so let's move on. Question number 9. This is a good question. Try to take a look at it. Let's see how many of you can get it right. 60 seconds is your time for this. Okay guys, so that's 1 minute. Mausam says option C, Sneha says 62. So guys, the correct answer is 62. Let us see what is happening here. So if I take, I am here, I will have my parents. So his parents, so if I am the person, I have two parents, mother and father. So I will get two photos here. Now remember, each of my parents will have two parents. So my mother will have two, my father will have two. So my grandparents are 4. My grandparents are 4, my parents are 2. Next, each of my grandparents will have 2 again. Which means my great grandparents will be totally 8. So great का मतलब है one tier above your grandparents. So grandparents के parents are called as great grandparents. Great means one more tier above them. So remember, each of these 8 will again have two parents. So this will be 16. Who are these 16? Great grandparents. But how many greats are there? There are 3 greats. So we need to go one more level up, which means the next level will be 32. But this is great grandparents. So total कितना हो गया अभी? 32 plus 16, 48, 50, 58, 62. Hence the answer is option D. It's a very nice question where every generation you go up, because every individual person will have one mother and one father. As you keep growing, going upper and upper, this will keep multiplying by 2. So the answer is turning out to be 62. You are not counting your own photo, so it will start from your parents. So it is 62. Right? So I hope this, it's actually a very nice, simple question, but you have to be very careful about how many generations you're taking. Right? Let's go ahead. Question number 10. Again, a long question, but बहुत simple है. Give me an answer in 60 seconds. It'll take time for you to read, that's all. Solving is very easy. Alright, so that's 1 minute. I haven't got any answers in this. That's quite surprising. Let's take a look at what is happening here. There were totally 5 of them were sitcoms, 3 were dramas, and 2 were news magazines, news. Okay. Now, by January, only 7 of the new shows were still on air. So totally we had 10. Now these 10 became 7. 3 of them got closed. And out of these 7, 5 of them are sitcoms. So all the sitcoms survived. None of them closed. All the sitcoms survived. But baki bache aapke 2. We don't have information about these 2. Which 2 can this be? It can be both of them are news, or it could be 2 of them are this dramas. It could be, or it could be 1 drama and 1 news. Any of these possibilities exist. So the question, option A says only one of the news magazine shows remain on the air. Not necessary. Dono bhi ho sakte hai, because 5 plus 2 is 7. I can have both of them remaining and all 3 dramas gone. So can I say with certainty? No. So A is not correct, because the question says what is true. It has to be 100% true. Second option, only one of the hour-long dramas remain on the air. Now it may be true, it may not be true. I can have 2 of the dramas also. Right? I can say both of these 2 are dramas, right? Which means it is not 1. I can have 2 dramas, not just 1. So option B is gone. If you look at C, television viewers prefer sitcoms over hour-long dramas. We don't know. We don't know what is the preference, because there is no information with respect to preferences. So C is gone. Therefore, the only option left out is D. But if you look at D and analyze, you'll actually realize it is correct. So at least one of the shows that was cancelled was an hour-long drama. So dramas में अगर आप, if you see, 3 ड्रामे में से 2 का ही स्पेस है आपके पास. So कुछ भी करो, एक का तो जाना ही है. So that's what this statement says. At least 1, which is correct. एक को तो जाना ही है, एक से ज़्यादा भी जा सकते हैं, but minimum 1 has to go. That is what the statement says. Hence the correct answer is option D. Let's move on to the next question. It's a series, number series. 30 seconds में आपका आंसर आ जाएगा ये. Very very simple. देखते ही पता चल जाएगा आपको. Nothing great. Very good, Mausam. It's basically doubling. 8 to the 16, 62 to the 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. Iska double. Always it is into 2. 1024 ka double ho gaya 2048, which is your option number 1. Ria, okay, Ria is asking a doubt from the previous question. So Ria, what is your question? Sitcoms were more. So sitcoms were more in number that were still on air. So how does it talk about preference of television viewers? You are saying that they prefer sitcoms over hour-long dramas. What if they like dramas, but the dramas are bad? What if the making of the drama is bad? It's like saying that, okay, yeah, we can't say it is more preferred. That's why I'm saying C is wrong. No, we can't. Okay, let me put it the other way around, Ria. Let us say that I ask you, which movies do you like? You will say that, okay, I like action more than horror. You like action more than horror. Now I made you see an action movie and it was so bakwas that you stopped it in halfway. While you liked action, it was so bad that you stopped it halfway. And I made you see a wonderful horror movie and you finished the movie. Does it mean that you like horror more than action? Or does it mean that in this case, this horror and this action were pathetic? Or the comparison was bad. But in general, you like action more than horror. You're getting the logic, Ria? So, you can't just by saying that because 5 of them survived, only 2 survived, or we don't know what is happening to drama. You cannot say that people prefer sitcoms over drama, because it also depends on the quality of the drama. At the end of the day, even if you like something, if the quality is bad, you will not watch it. Okay, is that clear, Ria? So when you're talking about critical thinking, these kind of questions come under critical thinking. So start questioning on the negative sense. So try to prove it wrong. The other way, in fact, this is what I would like you to do as a practice. Whenever you're thinking about these kind of questions, which you are not sure, try to prove it wrong. अगर आपने खुद prove wrong कर दिया, then obviously that's not your answer. So if you're trying to answer, if you're trying to see whether C is correct or not, ask yourself, how can I prove it wrong? What is the logic I can use to prove it wrong? Okay, then you will get your answer. Okay, so this is done. Question number 12. This is again a simple one, 45 seconds. Okay, so that's about 45 seconds. So let's see what is the logic. 2 and 6. So 2 into 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 into 3 is 27. 27 plus 3 is 30. 30 into 3 is 9. 90. 90 plus 3. So it is alternately multiplying by 3 and addition of plus 3. So अगर plus 3 93 आ गया है, so now next should be into 3. So 93 into 3 is 9. 9 3 is 27. The answer should be 279. So the logic is alternately multiplying and adding 3. Multiplying by 3 and adding 3. Okay, that's the logic. 13th, 45 seconds. So we have 3 more questions, 13, 14 and 15. So that will be the end of the session today. Let's see very quickly what are these. Very good, guys. In fact, all of you have given the correct answer. So the correct answer is option B. The answer value is T. So T is older than P. Q is younger than T. So Q is younger than T. S is older than R. And P is older than S. So basically I can write this here. P is older than S. S is older than R. But younger than Q. So P is older than S but younger than Q. So P is younger than Q. So Q should come here. So T greater than Q, but Q is greater than P, P greater than S, S greater than R. Clearly your answer is T. That's it. Okay? It's a simple question. Last 2 questions. These are also not very difficult, quite simple. 60 seconds is your time for this. Alright guys, so that's 60 seconds. Neha, that is the correct answer, option D. So let us see what is happening here. We have SPIRIT, which is coded as TQHSHU. So what is happening here? S plus 1 is T, P plus 1 is Q, I, J is PQ. So STPQ, I, J is missed. Then you're getting H. Then R, R and then S plus 1. So this is plus 2. I is plus 2. So let me rewrite this clearly. SPIRIT TQHSHU. So S plus 1 is T, P plus 1 is Q, I, J, H, I, okay, this is minus 1, this is reverse, H, I, J, okay, so R, S, this is plus 1, H again minus 1, and then T, U plus 1. So you have S, T, P, Q, so these two are plus 1s, after that you have a minus 1, then plus 1, minus 1, and then plus 1. So that is the same logic with which you are supposed to look at the next alphabet or next word. So it's BAMBOO. So B should be plus 1, C. A should be, okay, I think A should be plus 1 because this is P and Q. So this is an error. This should have been minus 1, I guess. PQ. STPQ I HISRSHI. Okay, let's go from bottom. So plus 1 STU OP plus 1. This should be minus 1. This should be N. Oh, something is going wrong in this. There seems to be something inconsistent here because it should be alternately plus and minus 1. I think there's something wrong in this question because they're supposed to be alternately plus and minus 1. So let's leave this, move on to the last question. Okay, so this is a very simple one. Once again, take a look at it. Vowels should be subtracted. Is it? Only I. Okay, so let's take a look at, okay, there is a different logic given. Let's see what will that logic work. Okay, that seems to be a good logic. Okay, it seems to work. Okay, that's good. Yeah, Nidhi, I think yeah, that is correct. So vowels. So if you notice, what are the things which are getting subtracted? I is getting subtracted. Everything else is getting added, but I is a vowel. So let's take a look at whether will it work if I add plus 1 for everything except vowel. So plus 1, minus 1, minus 1, plus 1 and minus 1. So B plus 1 is C, A minus 1 is Z, M plus 1 is N, B plus 1 is C, O minus 1, N, L, M, N, O, so N and N, C, Z, N, C, N, N, C, Z, N, C, N, N. Okay, that works. That's a good logic. Okay, so I think this is correct. So you're basically what they're doing here is not alternate. So here the logic is for vowels they are subtracting, for consonants they are adding. So that's the logic. Okay, that's a nice one. Question number 15, let's take a look at it. This is very straightforward. What is the answer to this? Right. So gravity was discovered. It was not invented. किसी ने gravity को invent नहीं किया. It was discovered. Whereas telephone was invented. Okay. So the correct answer is invention. So the correct answer is option B. Right. So guys, that brings us to the end of the session here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the session. Please, if you have not already downloaded our app, download our app, BYJU'S Exam Prep. We have a lot of sessions on our app also, which is different from our YouTube. And anyway, we are having our YouTube session, so subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you get the notification. All the best and see you in the next one.